Good morning. It's November 21st, 2019. We're looking today at events and commands like ribbon items in Office development, JavaScript development in Office. So that's not the Visual Studio Tools for Office.net part, but the new interface for Office. And let's start the show. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Maarten van Stam. I'm streaming 4 days a week Office development, Office JavaScript, basically plain JavaScript or React or whatnot. And on Wednesdays, like yesterday evening, doing other things like Blazor.net and more of the Visual Studio stuff. But these days in the morning, like 6:45 a.m. in Europe time. That means late in the evening for Eastern time and a little bit earlier on Pacific. Like it's this time 9:45, 46 in PST Pacific. And let's move to the code window. What I like to do today is look a little bit at commands in Office JavaScript. That means customizing the ribbon in an Office add-in. Let's quickly Google something about the commands. OfficeJS. I always have to prefix it with OfficeJS because of the new interface, otherwise you get into the COM interface, the old Visual Studio Tools for Office, Visual Studio Tools for the Office system, I should say. That's Visto, VSTO. But we're looking at the OfficeJS API commands in Word, in this case. There's a nice video here by Juan Balmori, the PM of Office. Let's see if we can find something about commands. Ribbon items. Adding commands. Let's check what's there. If you have questions, by the way, just put them into the chat room. And keep me awake, because it's early in the morning for me as well. And maybe it's late in the evening for you, if you are on the US part of the world. And then you have to keep awake, because it's late. It's always a kind of difficult to select a proper time to stream. To both cover the US or Europe. For most people, 6:45 a.m. in Europe is way too early. People are preparing for work, and in the US, people are preparing to go to bed. Let's see. Task pane add-in and the same add-in 23. Oh, yeah, Office 2013, and I'm wearing my very old Office, maybe 1997 or 2000 shirt. It's my working shirt these days, because it's that old. But the nice one has long sleeves. So with the Office 2016 you are able to put in ribbon commands and allowing you to put in things like buttons. Best way to get started add-ins is to look at the Office add-ins command samples on GitHub. For more information on specifying add-in commands in your manifest, create an add-in commands in your manifest. Let's click on that one. Both going to GitHub. Click the first one as well. So what you need to do is customize your manifest, apparently, to put in commands. Start from a sample. Strongly recommend from one of the samples, adding commands. I think that was the one that I just opened. Create a task pane add-in. And is it creating an Excel or Word add-in? Version overrides. This is, that's depending on the type of host. In this case, you can select document or workbook. Add hosts. These are all parts of the common manifest. Let's create a quick new manifest to see what's the latest version. Command. Go to the root. Okay. Start with npm outdated global. Let's see if we have an outdated Yeoman generator, maybe. Quickly update that if that's the case, so that we can see what's the latest version. Oh, npm update global. Not sure why. Oh, maybe Yeoman is not outdated. Outdated, I should say. Let's check that in a different one. Projects npm outdated. No. What's the command again to list the items? Always forget it. npm like depth. That's this one. npm list depth equals to 0 global. Yes, generator office is in here and a yo is in here, and that's not outdated anymore. Let's check if everything is okay now. So yo, start the office generator. Yo office by doing this. This should kick in Yeoman, and it does do that. Let's create a React framework with TypeScript. Sure. Name test commands. Let's make that a Word add-in for now. Generating. In the meantime, you can have a quick look at the documentation again. This can go away. Welcome in my stream, by the way. If you have questions, just put them in the chat. Chat is on that side. That side, maybe. Yeah, no, chat is upstairs. This can go. This is still running. If you like, just share some information in the chat room. Tell me who you are, where you're from. And especially if you also are used to doing some office development, maybe on your own. Or in a team, maybe. Create add-in commands in your manifest. Version overrides in your manifest define add-in commands. For Excel, Word, PowerPoint, add-in commands provide an easy way to customize the default Office user interface UI with specified UI elements that perform actions. You can use add-in commands to create UI elements or entry points that make your add-in functionality easier to use. Yeah, that's obvious because you're adding like buttons, drop-down list of buttons or to the ribbon. It's kind of limited, buttons and drop-down list only, maybe. Add individual menu items, each containing optional submenus, specific context shortcut menus like the right click, I think. Perform actions when your add-in command is chosen. Show one or more task pane add-ins for users to interact with. Inside your task pane add-in, you can display HTML that uses Office UI Fabric to create a custom UI, or run JavaScript code, like triggering a piece of JavaScript code. The article describes how to edit a manifest to define add-ins. The following diagram shows the hierarchy of elements used to define add-in commands. These elements are described in more detail in this article. The following image is an overview of the add-in commands elements in the manifest. So it starts with version overrides, resources, images, URLs, shortcut strings and long strings. Hydrate. And version overrides hosts. Host is like a Word or Excel, desktop form factor, function file, extension point, custom tab or office tab. So you can create your own tab group or the embedded in the existing one. Office menu, this is I think the right click commands. Start from a sample. Strongly recommend you start with one of the samples, adding commands samples. Already opened that twice, I think. Adding command samples, like Word. Deploying the sample. This sample showcases how to create buttons on an existing Office tab. Also create custom tabs. See reference documentation. This is the same one as we already opened before, I think. Let me check. This one. Create a task pane add-in. Is that the same one? GitHub, Office Dev, Docs, edit, create add-in commands, Docs. This one is on GitHub and this one is on Docs. To make it more confusing. Let's stick with the GitHub one. That's most likely the latest version. Although this is more readable, providing copy options. So let's see if it's already done. Yes. Where is the output? What name did I give the test commands? CD test commands. Code. There's the manifest. This workspace has extensions recommended. Show recommendations. ESLint, debugger, prettier. Install debugger for Chrome. Prettier reload required. Oh. As an update, let's do that later. Debugger for Chrome, Edge, recommended, nothing. Let's close it again. Code. Let's see if it comes up with more recommendations. Recommended Azure repos. Elements. What's this? Elements for Microsoft Edge Chromium. Okay. Show the browser elements tool inside. No, I said later. Okay, nice. Well, we're drifting away again. One of my bad habits, I'm drifting away from what we were doing. So let's see if here are version overrides, and then it shows hosts. It creates a host, like document. The resource ID is get started title. Is there a resource ID? It should be a resource ID if you look at the specification. Resources, they are a separate item. Resources there. Apparently it has the resources in the assets folder. Is there an assets folder? Yes, there is. Assets folder. Resource ID get started title. This one. Oh. Get started title. Get started description. Short strings, long strings. Yeah, that's a long string. That's a real long string. So you see the description is storing the long strings. Tooltip. Let's expand this again. It's putting in the description, learn more, and function file commands.url. What does that mean? extension point, primary command service, tab home. Yeah. Extension point, that's this one. It shows that it will be going in this case for the Office tab in the group, commands group, and has a label in there, and the icon is one of the little icons there. And control button, task pane button. So this is specifically one item. What do we have over here? A group, a label, an icon, and a control. So the question is, can you put in more items than this? Create a task pane add-in. That's what we already did. Step 3, add an overrides element. We put in an overrides, this one. Version overrides v1. Let's see if there are more versions than this. Copy. Google. No, I just want the overrides. Version overrides element. The schema version. At this time, the only valid values are v1 and v1.1. Currently, only Outlook 2016 or later supports the 1.1 schema. Implementing multiple versions. So if you have to support one or 1.1, then you can add in 2 parts apparently. So depending on, I guess, your version of Outlook in this case. Hosts document. This is in this case a Word document. Let's go back to this one. The following example shows an Office 2013 add-in manifest. There are no add-in commands in this manifest because there is no version overrides element. Office 2013 doesn't support add-in commands, but by adding version overrides to the manifest, your add-in will run in both Office 2013-2016. In Office 2013, the add-in won't display add-in commands and uses the value of source locations to run your add-in in a single task pane. Add-in. In Office 2016, if no version overrides element is included, source location is used to run the add-in. Okay, so if we look at this source location, that's by default settings. Is that in my version as well? Office add-in hosts. There's the source location. So if there's no version overrides in here, then you don't get the ribbon item. And does it mean that it automatically kicks in the add-in if you have that available? Let's do this and run this first. Control backtick. npm start. Cheers, guys. Oh, this is a little bit small font. Properties. Let's bump up the font some higher size. That's still a little bit small. Properties 36 maybe. That's better. Kicks in the node item. In the background you also notice it kicks in Word. You're on the cutting edge. Yeah, I'm sure I know. And this is the do Resize. I don't know why I get this lately. The web page contains errors. I think it's something related to the to one of my add-ins I have. Let's see for something in here. Add-ins, script lab, custom XML part editor. Interesting. Enables viewing or editing custom XML parts attached to the documents. Nice. Wonder how I got to this. Shared folder, React boilerplate. Okay, store. And I'm drifting away again. Home. This time it put it into the home tab. The question is that the same one as I have over here? Test commands, yes. Actually worked because I already installed some sort of a certificate, probably. Run button. Run. Hello world. There you have it. So now if I close this, don't save, close the node entry. So now take away the version overrides part. Control X, Notepad, to buffer this. Taking out the complete version overrides part. And now let's run this again. See if it makes any changes. Oh, wait. That was an F5. I should do something. Oh, it starts anyway. Yeah, cannot connect to the runtime. Command run desktop inspect break. Open launch. Should be this one. Oh, let's see. That's that one. Let's change it to Word desktop. Run. Does it actually work? Hey Fani, how are you doing today? (7:14), you're up early as well. This is an error I get from Word lately. Click that away. Preparing for work, Fani? When's your next streaming session? node kicked in, and then what you now saw is that the by removing the version overrides part, it's now taking in the default entry in the manifest of this one. It automatically kicks in the task pane without any interaction. So if there's no version overrides available, Ctrl A, Ctrl X, well, let's Ctrl C, just keep a copy of it available. Put it back in. Now there will be a ribbon I wonder if you get the ribbon item if you just reload. Let's first see if it's compiled. I think, did I save it? Save. Yeah, I think so. Let's reload in Word. Still hate it that you can't resize the task pane over the 50% size of your real estate. Let's reload this and see if you get a button back. And we're not getting the button back, so we have to cancel this. Close the node item again. And see F5 if it's providing a startup with Word this time. Yes, it remembered that it's starting Word. Now you get a new one. I still hate this one. Copy. Google. What's this? Do resize is false. Somehow this is triggering another add-in, I think. But what add-in is active right now? Besides this one. Yeah, Script Lab. But I don't think the Script Lab has the resize in here. Options. Let's see what add-ins are in here. Action, VStudio tools for Office. That's not related to that one. Inactive application add-ins, XML schema, OneNote, Trust Center, trusted locations. There's no specific location, I think, in here. This one, user templates. Program files and root templates. See users live coder to update our roaming Word startup. Apparently I already looked at this. It's not in here. General. Startup options. Tell me if Word isn't the default programming. No. I think it has something to do with the with the just-in-time debugger. Oops. I think my node entry did not start. Close this. Don't save. Close this one. Back to code. npm start. What? What's this? Back to here. npm start. If you want to know what I'm working on, just enter bang project in the chat room. That's to do Resize entry again, web page error. Web page error word 2016 maybe. How to troubleshoot problems at when you start, or use limitations. You save Word document as a web page. No. Must be this one, maybe. Verify and install the latest updates. Yeah, that's what I probably did. Search box. Web page. No. Yeah, still don't have a clue. Did node kick in? Yes. Got it. Task pane. So now you have a ribbon with one button and it's triggering the add-in. So let's see how that's done in the manifest. It has one button, and if you did I close it? No. Show task pane. So there must be something with the text show task pane. That's this one. Task pane button label. So what if we put in another icon? This is the label, this is the group label. Let's change the group label. Group label. It's now saying commands group. Let's make that my commands. Save. Close Word. Well, let's close Node again. Oh. Terminal. npm start. Kicks in Node. Now it says my commands, and that's interesting because it didn't load the add-in yet, but it already did kick in the manifest. So what if I want to put in primary command service, Office tab, let's see, add version overrides, that's in there. Description, requirements. And the requirements is showing what requirements are needed. And that's not in here. So in this case, it's having the namespace. That's what we see here. Namespace and the type. And for Word, it's only available for 1.0. Storm Chaser. I have tech questions about Raspberry Pi. I'm afraid I don't have that much experience on Raspberry Pi. But you can always ask. Try to ask. I do own a Raspberry Pi. By the way, I received I bought one of the Meadow chipsets. Meadow. .NET Core. The full stack .NET Core IoT platform items. This one I received yesterday in the mail. It was a Kickstarter project. This is the Kickstarter, by the way. And this one, I think, which one did I buy? I think this one. So I received the Meadow F7 board with a mug and some swag, like stickers and whatnot. And but this is a little, how do they call this? The power of Raspberry Pi in the computing factor of an Arduino and the manageability of a mobile app. So you can basically run the full stack .NET Core on this. So I need to have a look at this as well and not have it sitting around. This is nice. You can attach a little display. This was in the set. And this was the swag that I got with it. Well, anyway, drifting away again. Go back. Requirements. Is there a requirements set in here? It's next to the hosts. So you can add requirements. Requirements. So what if it doesn't meet the requirements? Add information about the requirement sets. Add information about the requirement set. So what can you put in to that? Requirements. Specify host requirements. Before you begin. Start. Does the add-in run in one or many hosts? Yeah, set the host element. One or many. Add-in requires specific API member requirements element in the manifest to ensure that those APIs are available. If API members are available, would you like to provide additional functionality? Yes, do a runtime check. For instance, set the is supported part. Set requirements. Default min version. So what does it mean? Only use the requirements element to specify critical requirement sets that your add-in must use. If the Office host doesn't support the requirement set specified in the requirements element, the add-in won't run in that host or platform and won't display my add-ins. Instead, we recommend that you make your add-in available on all platforms of an Office host, just such as Excel, and use runtime checks instead of requirements element. So instead of doing this, the recommendation is to check it online. Runtime checks like this. If context requirements is set supported, so I want to check what the current requirement set is. Google. Determine current requirement set word add-in OfficeJS. How to find the Office add-in host? Let's say type is Excel. If type is Excel, run this. If content requirements Excel API get host information. Also got some code alter doing a lot of googling and found below code, but it's not working for me. Requirements, var type, minimum versions. Oh yeah, so it's checking all the versions. That's kind of nice. And why is it not working? Releasing the API to detect the host and platform information. 2016. Note that for many light-up scenarios you would be better using set detection. Need ways to get environment for more information. This is by Michael Zlatkovsky, one of the Microsoft guys. This is checking is supported. For completeness sake, a few other things note about OfficeJS versioning. To ensure you have the latest API bug fixes, you should always use the CDN location, which gets updated in place as we roll out new features. The location is lib1. Or 1.1 also works with 1. Corollary to the above, you should always use a CDN location even for older hosts. That way you can use the is supported API. Specify the manifest. Let's try this. Function get host info. Let's see if I can put it in somewhere here. Source. Task pane. Task pane HTML kicks in one of the components, probably the app. Component did mount, click async. Yeah, put in a function in here. Now I messed it up. Function loop for and as this is a React function, I should say function get host info. It should not say function, it should just say something like this. Most likely, yeah, but it's now not used. Not all code paths return a value. Okay, why not? Requirements. Min versions. If it's supported, return something. Otherwise, return nothing. Types. This loops through all the types and loops through the, if it meets the type and minimum version, Google is supported word reference. This one I think maybe is supported. So the question is what versions are allowed in here? Specify the latest JavaScript JavaScript API. Host elements, set requirements. Where's the reference for requirement set? Requirement. Office version and requirement sets. Word JavaScript requirement sets. There's a preview. So what's the label for this then? Word API is in requirement set 1.3. That's not in here. Also in here. Let's open this is a different window. Beta. The question is, what's the requirement set? So we have 1.1. API set Word API 1.1. Google preview. What's the label? It looks like you have to specify the API, Excel API. Yeah. Types should be and adds API to it. Then 1.7. What's the one in preview? Is support preview. Preview? Well, from a test seems the API version 1.7 is already supported in Mac. Here the code I used. Okay, let's put in 1.34567 1. Start with the highest version. Okay. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, and add one preview. Preview. Well, this is not. Well, is it? Why is this manifest info here? Oh, it's not. Now I need to put it in the page somewhere. Insert paragraph. So let's do something like const well, I need a variable var host info equals to get host info. That's not used yet, and then copy and make that a new name, paragraph host info, copy, make that red. Oh. And this should put in the result of result. What name did I give it? Host info result. Oh, it's getting something back like a type and the API version. So it should put in API version. What was it? API version. Is TypeScript. Let good morning. If you type in Bang project in the script, Juan Carlos, then you get the description of what I'm working on. I'm currently trying to extend the Word API. Let's see if I still have it open. This is a little add-in here, and what I'm looking at today is how to extend the ribbon items in here. But for that you need to check what version you are working on in Office. So you have to test the requirements. And it's actually TypeScript. But I get this info result back. And the info result is it's a dual version. I don't want the type in here. I just want the minimum version. return nothing. Unexpected token. Yeah. Let's see. So it looks like an Office plugin. Yeah, it is. It's called an add-in. And previously the add-ins were built like COM add-ins, like .NET add-ins. But they changed the API for Office to rely on JavaScript instead of .NET. Can I do this? No. Maybe I just don't care about returning nothing for now. This one is not correct anymore. So it should be now giving a string back, yes. Let's see if it's adding it. Kill the word instance. Don't save. And kill the node item. To be exact, an Office add-in currently is just a web page that you're hosting, in my case at my local machine, but you can put it on Azure like a web app. But that's hosted inside the inside the Office client. And the nice thing about this is if you run it in Office like Word on your machine, it also works in Word on the internet, like the web version of Word. So it's XSplit. It also should be running on your Mac, so it runs basically everywhere. So why is this? Cannot find name render. Wow, why not? This is weird. npm, oh, shoot. Why is it giving this error? Let's close this. Sometimes it gives you the error just by... it's still in there. Why is it giving me this error there? 4. That's this one. Is it? No. Also, my Ctrl Z is not working anymore. Come on. Where if I got this code? I'm more like a Linux person. Well, it even runs in Linux, because it's basically a web version. Where is the example showing this one? Copy. Let's copy it in here. And copy this one. Copy minimum versions, override it with the changes. Then as it's React, just move this out. Kill this. See if my render is now repaired. It is, yeah. So apparently I created a typo somewhere. And here I just want to return the specific version. Copy. Still see if the render is still working. And now there's an issue. Why is there an issue? Because I need to return this. And there it is. Yes. Now it should return info result as a type of string. That's correct. And it's not giving me a return value over here. Return. Is that allowed? Yes, that's allowed. Nothing. The semicolon is not really needed as it's put in automatically, but I'm kind of used to putting it in. As I'm a C# guy, so I want to stick to the semicolon. Let's run this. npm start. Ooh, it's almost 8 o'clock. I need to prepare for work. But let's quickly see if we can get one of the requirement sets out. But this time, ooh, add in. I think this not work. It didn't work. Don't save. Kill the node again. So what was the error? npm start. Did you have a look at the JavaScript now, the TypeScript? Don't want to debug. And why is this? Add-in is no longer available. Add-ins inserted during development are only available during debugging. Please open your project in Visual Studio, rerun your application. That's what I did. And reinsert. Did I have the add-in here? Manifest. Manifest. Version overrides. It should be in here. Was it localhost 3000? Yeah. HTTPS localhost 3000. And that's just that. Did it give some other errors here? Don't think so. So is that just related to the code that I put in? Close this. Try it once more. Let's first do this. Take the customization out and see if it runs by doing this. it's too soon. Something is wrong with the manifest. Don't save. Let's try to take this part out. So I added that. npm start. Oh wow, wait. npm start. It seems to use Webpack. Yes, it does. When you generate the now it worked. That's working. No. Let's avoid the error. This error is kicking in without the add-in. If you look at the add-in right now, loading, and it's not loading. Oh, I don't want to do that. Was it running already? It's not. My node is not running. npm start. If you create these displays, the boilerplate with the Yeoman generator, it generates a Webpack instance in here, showing you what it's using to start up, to package it. So it's really a general website that you are creating. Let's wait for Node to kick in. Why is Node not kicking in? There it is. Word. They have the add-in. Now it's running. And if I click run, then you get something in there. Close this again. I said close this. Don't save. Node. Where's my node? Here. Stop node. Now try to get back my code. Create a paragraph, put it in, the result in, save, npm start. So this will be my final attempt before stopping this stream, because I have to go to work. Word kicks in, the add-in kicks in, Node needs to be compiling. Yeah, come on, there it is. Got it. Show task pane. Run. 1.3, yes, it works. Really, come on. So apparently the supported API for Word is 1.3, requirement set 1.3. And you really need to get rid of this error. But it's not related to this add-in. Run it again, yeah. So the requirement set is 1.3. The highest one is not a preview. So these are the functions that you can use at this level. If you have a function that's above the 1.3, then this Word version is not able to run it. Well, so quickly, let's terminate this. Let's end the stream. I really enjoyed looking at the commands in the Office add-in. I will continue to do some more research on this tomorrow morning. That's American time in the evening, tomorrow evening, to see if I can extend some more icons in there and put some customization in the ribbon based on this requirement set. So thanks for watching. If you like the stream, my name is Maarten van Stam. Just follow me in the button above, and then you keep an update when I'm back and live again. So thanks for watching, especially for instance, for Juan and Fani, who was chatting in the chat room, and we had Storm Chaser. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.